Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. I wonder how you all are. Are you still all in lockdown, or have you been let out now? I know our UK viewers will have been released a little bit from their lockdown now, and even more tomorrow. So anyway, today's project, this was the card that I used for my entry into the Ink Stamp Share blog hop yesterday. And so I'm bringing you the video to show you how to make it. So it's a very simple little card, although it does take quite a lot of patience. It's a bit fiddly. So if you're not got a lot of patience, or you don't like fiddly things, this is probably not the card for you. But I just love it. I love all these tiny little flowers. So let me show you how to make it. Now it uses a new product. This is our Flower Border Confetti Punch, or confetti, might be the other way around, Confetti Flower Punch. And it punches out 6 little flowers as you punch it, 3 different sizes. So there's 3 big ones, a small one and 2 tiny ones. And I use this to punch out flowers in all different coloured kinds of card, arrange them in a rainbow order around my greeting. And I just love it. I just think it's really pretty. I'm going to get a lot of pleasure out of using these little punches of these little flowers, I think. It does coordinate. It coordinates with another new product, which is called Field of Flowers. So it's got this like meadow, and you can stamp flowers on there, or you can stamp the flowers and punch them out with the punch. And then there's a bigger flower with some bigger heads here, and some other flowers, a dragonfly. And then these lovely greetings, always thinking of you, always a celebration, always in my heart, always my friend. You are always in my heart, I suppose. Always believe and always love. So quite nice, really nice little set. Like I said, I'm only using the punch for today. So let me show you what I did. So I started off with my normal card blank, which is, if I do it in Imperial first, it's 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and then score it at 4 1/8. Or in centimetres, it's 21 by 14 1/2 and score at 10 1/2. Okay, and then you need a layer of silver. Can you see I've got a border around here? Now we did have, you might just catch them. There's some cards with silver borders in the old catalogue, and I think they're retiring, so I don't know if they're still available. But if you didn't want to faff around cutting layers, those would do a perfect job on this. I didn't have any, so I did faff around with my silver card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my silver card down to a 1/2 centimetre or 1/4 inch smaller than my card blank, which is 14, for me it's 14 by 10. And I'm just looking for my trimmer, which is here. And what I actually did was I cut out the middle of this as well, because I didn't want to waste too much card by being buried. So I need this to be 14, so I'll line that up there. By 10. So that goes there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my blade. I'm going to measure this up at 1 1/2 centimetres on this side. And I'm going to use my blade not to cut from the edge, but to cut from the centre. And then turn it round. Line it up at 1 1/2 again. And by doing this, you can cut out the middle of the card, so you've then got it available to use for another card. You don't waste it. Our silver foil is not the cheapest in the world. It is the nicest in the world, but it's not the cheapest. So you don't want to waste any by just having it sitting behind a card mat and going to waste. So there we go. And there we are. That will come out. I just might need to bring some scissors in just to trim. That's just catching there and there. So just hadn't cut it quite enough, but there we are. So we've got like a frame. Pop my trimmer away. Right, so this is going to layer. Oh, that's interesting. What have I done wrong there? Obviously cut it much too big. What did I cut it at? I thought I cut it at 10. I think I must have cut it at 11. Okay, good job I left a big border because that's going to be too big. So, oh, I cut it at 10.5, did I? Okay, let me just check. Where do I need it to be cut down to? I think it needs another center. How big is this card blank? Maybe my card blank. Ah, my card. Oh no, my card blank is 10.5. Okay, so let's cut this down to 10 and see what happens. I do a lot of this when I'm card making. I do fiddle around, so you actually see the whole process here. Right. Ah, that's a bit better. Actually, I'm going to trim a little bit more off because I want the borders to match, and it doesn't quite match. But it doesn't really matter, you know, as long as you don't cut it too small, because there's no going back once you cut it too small. Right, there we go. So what you want is a piece that's got the same sort of border all the way around. That's fine now. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take a little bit of Tombow, stick my silver frame on. And you're not going to see this in a bit. The bit I cut out, you're not going to see that because I'm going to put a piece of white card over there. So that's why you can cut it out and not worry. And then you end up with a nice piece of silver card that you've got to use for another card, and you don't rip through your pack quite so quickly and need to replace it. It's not straight. Try and get this on straight. The Tombow will give you some wiggle room. So there we go. There we go. There, and then you need a panel. Let's hope I've cut this panel the right size. Aha, yes. Yep, that's fine. That panel to go on there. Actually, I am going to trim just a little bit more. I'm going to bring in my little trimmer here. I'm going to trim off just slightly more because I want a bit more of the silver showing. So, but I do a lot of this by eye. I don't know why these measurements aren't working today. I will check them afterwards. But you can just do it by eye. So, and if you've got this little trimmer, it's so useful because you just have it sat on your desk. There, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to use Tombow on this. Now normally on silver card I would use something that's better for sticking non-porous things, but because it's going to have a bit of adhesive in the middle there, it's not going to go anywhere, so I'm going to use Tombow. Just using my bone folder to press that down. I don't want the edges coming up. The silver tends to come up a little bit. So we're just going to mount this on here. There we go. And then got to do a little bit of heat embossing. I've already done the die cutting, but we're going to heat emboss. There we go. There, so we've got our more or less our card blank ready to put stuff onto, put things onto. Let's just press it all down with the bone folder to make sure it's nice and down. There we go. Right, okay, so now we're going to do the heat embossing of the sentiment, and what we're going to do is we're going to use these two ovals, which are from the layering oval set. So that one came from there. So this is the second biggest one, and this is the third biggest one, if you're wondering. Okay, so, and what I did to cut out the silver, so you could just do a silver border and put a white bit on top, but what I did was I cut out the silver by layering these two on top of each other, like so, and I just put a little bit of washi tape behind to stick them together, make sure they didn't move, and then cut it out. So I actually got a frame like this from the silver card, and then I cut one of the bigger ones out with the white card, and we're going to use the sentiment, which is from oh, it's coming off, from Family Party. So it's quite a nice combination of fonts, happy and birthday. Just going to have to remount that a little bit. That's come away. Don't know why that started coming off. There we go. Right, so I need my Versamark. Excuse me, leaning across camera. And I need a piece of white. Oh no, I've got my white card here. I'm going to stamp it on here. Which side? That side. I'm just going to get my embossing buddy because my fingers are getting quite hot. It's very hot here in the UK today. It's 28 degrees in my craft room, so it's quite warm, so my fingers are getting a bit sticky. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp. Now, normally I would stamp and then die cut so I can place it properly. But because I don't like die cutting on camera, it's just a bit of a faff. I thought I would just do it the other way round today. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Not the end of the world. Right, okay, so I've stamped that on there. And I am going to take my silver powder. Take my thing and just... There we are. Just give it a bit of a flick to get any loose strays bits off. And then that's going to be quite tricky to heat this bit because it's so small. So I am going to use my tweezers to try and get it done. Like I say, normally if I was card making, I wouldn't. Actually, that's not very central, but hey ho, I'm going to go with it. Can you see it's to one side, but it's going to have to do for now. Right, so I'm going to turn on my heat gun. I'm going to let it warm up a little bit. And I'm going to try and hold my tweezers right as far away from the thing as possible so that it doesn't burn my fingers too much. Right, here we go. There you are, it's going. Just about done before my fingers started burning. There we go. Very difficult to emboss on tiny bits of card, so it is better to use a bigger bit and then die cut it, and you can get the placement better as well. This is not ideal placement on here but it's fine. I'm going to go with it. Sorry, my voice is going very strange. Right, so I'm just going to go round and glue there. There we go. I have been rather in the wars lately. I don't know what's happening with my throat at the minute, but we went out for a walk a couple of weeks ago, which was actually my birthday. We went out for a walk. I twisted my ankle and it swelled up like a balloon. I couldn't put any weight on it for a few days. So that was one thing. And then yesterday, Thursday, we were doing, a couple of days ago, we were doing the garden. And I got stung on my chin, of all places, by something. I don't know what it was, bitten by something. And the whole of my chin and my neck swelled up. I looked a bit like the Elephant Man. It was not a pretty sight. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to measure so that I know I'm putting this centrally on my card. So my card is 14.5, so I need to make it 7.25 is the centre of my card. So there. So I know that's the middle because I want this to go exactly in the middle. I don't mind if it's a bit further up or down, but I want it to be central to there. So I'm just going to stick that in the middle there. There we go. So we have been spending quite a lot of time in our garden. It desperately needed it. So there we go. Right, okay. So now, how did I stick these on? So what I did was I decided I was going to start with red. And I put that up here. And actually I did this the other way. I put the silver border on after. Oh, just let me show you. I've got some Tombow with a cocktail stick, which I find is the easiest way to handle, and my faithful tweezers. I put the border, I just had a white sentiment, but I decided it needed a border, so I put that in after I'd put my flowers on. So these ones I can position a bit more. So, oh, I need to show you how I made them curly. So, sorry, it's a bit of a muddle this, isn't it? Okay, I've done most of them. So I didn't show you even how I no, let's go back. Rewind. Right, okay. I'm going to punch with the punch, and you will see that I will get 6, and they do tend to go all over the place, so you need to be ready for them. And you will get 3 big ones, a smaller one, and 2 little ones. Medium-sized one and 2 little ones. So for do our card, you need the 2 little ones and one of the big ones. And you can see I've got lots of excess flowers here from doing this, so I'm going to find a use for these at some point. Don't quite know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I love them and I love all those colours. And then with the big ones, what I did was I just took I've got a stylus with a really big ball, but I think I could try it with a smaller one. Where's one with the smaller? So this one's got a smaller ball, which is like the stylus with the scorer tool, and you just go round and round. Yes, not as easy with the smaller one, but it will work. There we go. Yeah, and just make them cup shaped really. So I've just got a couple more to do. Got a blue one, balmy blue one, so that's Pacific Point, Bermuda Bay, and Pacific Point and balmy blue. There we go. Right, okay, so they just gives them a little bit of dimension. Okay, and so what we're going to do, right, okay, so I've got my red one. I'm then going to come in with Bermuda Bay and put that at the bottom. And then on the edge here is yellow, is Daffodil Delight. So you don't have to use these colours for there. There's all sorts of combinations you could do for a rainbow, but these ones I think work quite well. Oh, that's my gorgeous grape, and I haven't embossed that one, so let's just bring that in. Do that as well. This is just a little piece of fun. I think it's called Fun Foam, actually. It's available in one of our craft shops in the UK called Hobbycraft. Okay, and then, right, so now I can fill in the spaces. So I need pumpkin pie. So that's going, so we're going to get 2 in between here. So you just need to place it so that you've got room for 2. This is Mango Melody. Haven't used any of the new in colours on this, but I could have done. Just going to position them a little bit further away. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with Granny Apple Green. Do so love these colours. I love a rainbow. Sam, my team leader, loves a rainbow as well. I hope she doesn't think I copy her, but I have always loved rainbows and rainbow colours. Right. And then Balmy Blue. And Pacific Point. And then just the 2 pinks left to do. So Melon Mambo. And we've got a lovely new magenta, I think it's called Magenta Madness coming. Beautiful colour. I think that's going to be my favourite in colour, the pink. Very nice hot pink colour. There we are. So those are all the big flowers. And then what I did was I did the same. So like I said to you, this is not, if you're not into fiddly, this is not the card for you, because you've then got to do all these little flowers. Actually, what I did it a bit quicker than this, because what I did was I just put because you only need a tiny bit of glue, so I just put a tiny dot of glue and then came back through. And stuck them down. But you will need tweezers or something, or you'll take your pick tool, might work with this to pick them up, because they are very, very fiddly. But worth it, I think. I love the effect of this card, so I don't mind. I am quite a fiddly person. Now, some of you will know that I do quilling, and everybody always says, oh, I don't know how you've got the patience to do that, but I love it. So I know I do like to fiddle, so if you don't like to fiddle, maybe steer away from this card and do something else. But if you like to fiddle, then fiddle away. There we go. So now I'm on to the Mango Melody ones. Like I say, it's an absolutely scorching hot day today in the UK, and we've been so blessed with such lovely weather while we've been in lockdown. Very few horrible days, so at least people can get out in their gardens and go out for exercise. Sadly, although the restrictions are relaxing, I'm still not allowed to go out anywhere because I'm on the what the government consider to be vulnerable list. So I ain't going anywhere very soon, but hey ho, I'll get back to it eventually. I can wait. I'm just very jealous of people who can. There's actually a gardens near here called Wisley, which is run by the Royal Horticultural Society. And I usually spend quite a lot of time there, meeting friends. We walk through the gardens, we go for lunch, we go for coffee. And they've been closed all this time. And they're just now opening up again and allowing people to book a slot to go and visit. And of course I can't go, so that's a bit sad really. But I know I will eventually, and I would rather stay inside, stay away and be safe than be terribly ill with this horrible virus. Don't think there's any of us that have been untouched by it. 3 people I know have died. So, right, I appear to have lost a balmy blue flower. I'll leave that one out. Let me just finish going around here. So I'm nearly done. If you're bored watching Mad Woman, just stick flowers on. There we go. So let's do, don't know what happened to that balmy blue. I thought I had enough punched out, but you get the idea. And then last, all we're going to do is we're going to add some pearls to the centre of the big ones. There we go. Just do the Pacific Point ones. Yeah, I've got more Bermuda Bay here, not Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, but I haven't got any more balmy blue. Very odd. Right, I will fill that. I will do that when I come back on, when I come off camera. Right, okay. And so the last thing we need to do is take some pearls and just put a little pearl, and these are self-adhesive, so these are really easy to do. So just pop a little pearl in there. Right, you don't need to sit and watch me do all of those. But there you have it. That was how I made my Field of Flowers Flower Confetti Punch card. So I hope you like that. I really enjoyed making it, and I love the rainbow effect. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to buy any of those products, they'll be available from Wednesday, 3rd of June. If you'd like a catalogue, let me know. But meanwhile, that's me saying goodbye for today, and I will see you soon. Bye.